Okay. Hey, my friends, how you doing? Hello, Instagram. How is it going? Hello, Facebook, or not Facebook, LinkedIn. We don't do it on Facebook anymore. LinkedIn and YouTube. Let me just, I'm checking all my settings because I want to make sure everything is working. Looks like we're good. I love it. Welcome to the Your Book, Your Voice Coffee Chat. Thank you so much for tuning in. Definitely appreciate you being here. Fantastic. God, I love hanging out with you today. I am Robert A. Lane. I have Robert Lane Coaching as my business. I'm an audiobook coach and producer, specializing in helping nonfiction authors turn their great book, published book, into an audiobook. But the key is having you as the nonfiction author narrate your own audiobook. And we have a really good topic for today that we're going to talk about, which is crushing your speaking fears, crushing your audiobook narration fears. We're going to dive into that in just a sec. A couple of administrative things that I want to share with you. First of all, every Thursday, we do the Your Book, Your Voice podcast, and we do it live every Thursday. Of course, it gets archived on your favorite podcast channel. And I archive it on my YouTube channel as well. But I'd love to have you join me live. So every Thursday night at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Eastern, got to get my time zones right, 8 p.m. Eastern, that is 5 p.m. Pacific time. Join me for the Your Book, Your Voice podcast. You can catch it live, both video and audio, on the Bold Brave TV YouTube channel. Go to the YouTube channel, you click the live button on their home screen, and you'll see this graphic there where it says Audiobook PR, Know Your Strategy, because that is the topic for our podcast tonight. PR, do you have a strategy set? But we're going to dive into that. So we'd love to have you join. Again, that's on the Bold Brave TV YouTube channel to catch it live. All right. And again, I do have a freebie that I want to share with you, and that is an audiobook narration reference guide. You can click the link on my website, on my website there, but I also put a graphic here for those of you who can see this. I know Instagram, you can't see it, but you can go to my profile page and click on the link and grab your free audiobook narration reference guide, which have a lot of tools and techniques that I share with you about doing a great audiobook narration. So make sure you grab that guide. All right. Now, I do want to, I guess I want to throw that in there too. Getting used to my setups here. If you do want to get more information, by the way, on the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program that I teach, by all means, schedule a call. There, the link is bit.ly/audiobook onboarding to schedule your free author consultation call. What we do is we talk about your book and I give you more details about the audiobook coaching program. But I just want to dive into what we are talking about today, and that is crushing your speaking fears. All right, crushing your speaking fears. And this is interesting because it's more common than you think, which is an interesting fact. There are more people who are hesitant, more authors who are hesitant about narrating their own audiobook than you think. It's definitely more common. So before we go on, by the way, this is Coffee Chat. So I'm going to cheers to you for joining me and just being a great human being, and for writing your nonfiction book. And definitely, if you're considering narrating your audiobook, cheers to you. Favorite brew. I'm showing you there on the camera. This is Crimson Lane Experiences, who sponsors Robert Lane Coaching and produces some great meditation albums that I give to my clients. Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, so let's talk about speaking fears. The one thing that I want to ask you is there something that has happened in your life that has stopped you from doing something that you want to do? All right. Directly relating to the audiobook world, if you want to narrate your own audiobook, but you immediately think, I just got to get a narrator to do it. Why? What is stopping you from narrating your own nonfiction book? You wrote the book. Nobody can tell your story better than you. Why would you have someone else do it? So what is stopping you from narrating your own audiobook? What fear, because it usually comes down to that, What fear is stopping you? What is causing this barrier? Let me know. Put it in the comments or in the chat, no matter what platform you are checking out this coffee chat, whether it's on LinkedIn, YouTube, or Instagram. Love to hear from you. Do you have a story that you can share about something that affected you to this day? Maybe something that happened recently, or maybe something happened when you were a kid that has caused you to feel a certain way when it comes to making decisions. Now, as an author, this is your brand. Whoops, hit the mic there. This is your author brand, okay? Your business. Are there things that are stopping you from moving forward in things that you want to do with your author brand business? What are they? What are those fears? I'm going to share a couple of stories with you, personal stories that come to mind in regards to fear. And then I will tell you a technique that I use and I want to share with you about how to crush your fears, especially when it comes to speaking or really anything that is stopping you. As an audiobook coach and producer, of course, again, a lot of authors are hesitant about narrating their own audiobook. Well, let's crush that fear. That's a false belief. We're going to crush that. Okay. So, but maybe there is something that happened in your life that causes that feeling. There's a story, going back when I was a kid, tried out for playing baseball. Okay. Now I was at an age, very young age, where I was trying out for the Pee Wee League. I wasn't even up to the Little League level yet because I wasn't even in that age bracket. And I remember going to the park. We went to the park where we had the tryouts and we did our thing. And then it ended up that the coaches had decided to move me up into the Little League division and not play Pee Wee League because they felt that I did really well in my tryouts, that even though I would be like one of the youngest players in that league because I was not in that age bracket, but you know what? Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So I did. So I played in Little League and I played different positions. I pitched. Did I play third base? Might have. I don't think I played first. I played outfield, maybe second base, shortstop. It was a fun experience. Almost. Because the one thing that really affected me was that when I got up to the plate to hit the ball, I could never hit the ball. Two things would happen. Either I struck out or I was walked. And being walked was the only way that I was able to get on base. And that really grinded on me as a kid. I was so distraught from that experience. And I remember at practice, pitch the ball, and I'd be able to hit it. But when it came to game time, wasn't able to do it. The only time I connected with the baseball was a foul tip backwards. That was it. But it was that experience that really affected me in a negative way. So the season ended. I think we didn't even place well. I think we were like last or second to last. It wasn't a great team, but that's okay. And I remember them calling my parents. My mom picked up the phone, and the coach was like, "Hey, we want you to play again." And I was so distraught about how I couldn't connect with the ball at game time. It affected me so badly that I never played organized baseball again. That was it. And my mom was trying to force me to do it. My dad stepped in and said, "Hey, don't force the kid to do something he doesn't want to do." Now, whether that was a good thing or a bad thing, who knows? Some parents are like, "I'm going to force you to do it because it'll build character and it will do this and do all that." Sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it does create this anxiety that gets ingrained into your subconscious. This is what I'm talking about, of things that create fears. Fears are anxiety, okay? So even though this is a situation that has nothing to do with narrating your own audiobook, however, it creates a feeling. And when you're put into an uncomfortable situation, maybe speaking or narrating your audiobook feels uncomfortable for you, it brings up feelings. So maybe this situation, what does Little League Baseball have to do with narrating an audiobook, right? Nothing. Shouldn't have anything to do with it. But what it does do is create the feeling that is associated with that experience. And that can create the barrier that is stopping you from making author decisions like narrating your own nonfiction book. Okay? So maybe it is something that's completely not related, but it does create the feeling. I can think of another situation. This was several years ago. As an artist, musician, I had my rock band. I released my second album. I had a album release party. We did this big gig in Los Angeles, and I felt that my performance was just horrible. It just was bad. Whatever it was, could have been nerves. Whatever it was, I just felt that it was just a horrible show. Here is this big album release party, and I felt like I was not on top of my game. Not on top of my game. And it was horrible. So that affected me. So after we did the release party, I was like, man, I don't want to play anymore. I was so soul crushed from this performance that in my mind was a bad performance. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe the audience thought it was great. I don't know. But in my mind, it was bad. So I stopped playing, stopped performing for a long time to come to terms with that, right? That created a wall. So we're talking about crushing these barriers. A situation like that, maybe it's not directly related to narrating your own audiobook, but it creates that feeling, right? The experience creates a feeling, and the same feeling is something that you may have when it comes to doing something like, as a nonfiction author, narrating your own audiobook. And your first inclination is, I'm just going to get a narrator. Why? What is stopping you from doing that? Okay. So if you do have any stories you want to share, maybe something that happened when you were a kid or something that has created a fear, share it. I'd love to hear about it. Put it in the chat or in the comments. Love to hear about it. All right. So these things that happen, you need to approach these fears, crush these fears, move them out of the way, and move on and make these decisions. Remember, you are an author. This is your brand. Everything about you creates your author brand. Your background, your belief systems, your habits, everything that makes you, your voice, of course, right? Everything. That's what creates your author brand. And if there are fears and hesitations that are stopping you from making executive decisions because you're the CEO of you, love the catchphrase, got a lot of them. Anyway, you are the CEO of you, and it's stopping you from making an executive decision that is moving your business forward, like narrating your own audiobook, then you got to stop that. So let me give you a technique that actually I do talk about it in my book as an author as well. I've gone through the same thing that you have as a nonfiction author by publishing a book. I do have a chapter in here that's called Fight, Flight, or Freeze, which is about exactly this, about how to crush your fear. So if you have any hesitations about narrating your own audiobook, or, you could apply this to anything that you do that is stopping you from doing something that you want to do, whether it's with your business, whether it is something creative, whatever it is. Let's crush those fears, all right? So here's my catchphrase. Face it, embrace it, purge it, replace it. There it is. This is how you deal with fears. Face it, embrace it, purge it, replace it. 4 steps. First step, facing your fear, okay? Facing your fear basically means you're acknowledging that it exists. Okay, so, you're a nonfiction author, you want to release an audiobook, the audiobook world is growing and expanding. You'd be foolish not to narrate your own, well, at least get an audiobook out there, but you're hesitating about narrating it yourself. Why? Okay. Well, acknowledge that there is the hesitation. You have a fear. There's a fear of you narrating your audiobook. Maybe it's afraid of a microphone. Maybe it's fear of public speaking. Maybe it is a situation that happened when you were a kid that has affected you. Okay, so you face the fear. Facing it means acknowledging it. So that takes you to step 2. Step 2 is embrace it. Embrace the fear means you are You're taking it on head on, right? And what that means is that you are stripping away the layers, getting down to the root cause. What is it that is causing you to feel this way? I hate my voice. These are excuses that I hear from authors. I don't like how I sound. I don't have what it takes. I am not good enough. My voice is not good enough. I don't have the skill set. None of that is true, okay? So what you need to do is you need to write about it. You need to journal it. You need to speak it out. Get it out, okay? That's embracing your fear. Now, I don't say confront, okay? You're not confronting your fears. Confronting is more of an aggressive way. It's like confrontational. It's like fighting. No, you're not confronting, you're embracing. You're embracing the fear. Yes, I acknowledge it. Yes, I am embracing it. Yes, I'm getting down to the root cause. Maybe it was, that experience that I had from Little League that is causing me to create a barrier for not narrating my audiobook, or, whatever situation that has created this feeling. Okay. Which takes us to the third step, right? You have face and embrace it. Now you're going to purge it. That's step 3. Purge it means you're moving your fear aside. Okay. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that, it just magically disappears. My fear is gone. If it happens to you, awesome. That's great. But this is something that's been ingrained in your subconscious for many, many years. So you're just purging it, which means you're moving it aside. It may not go away, right away, and you may feel it, but at least you have acknowledged it, and now you're embracing it, so you can purge it and move it aside. When you move it aside, you have now created space for step number 4. And step number 4 is replace it. You're now replacing your fear with new belief systems, with new habits, with positive affirmations, okay? That's the simplest thing that you can do is positive affirmations. I love my voice. I am a great author. I have a great author brand. I have what it takes to narrate my own audiobook. I love my voice. I say that again because so many people hate their voice or they don't like how they sound. You need to love it and embrace it. I can do this. This is my author brand. No one can tell my story better than me. So I am the only person who is most qualified to tell my story. I wrote this nonfiction book to share my unique style, my pacing, my wording, my voice, which is in my written word. And now I'm going to say it for you to hear me tell my story because I can. I am. I can. I have. Positive affirmations in the present tense is what you need to do, and say it. Make a list of these affirmations. Make a list of 10 affirmations about yourself, about you as an author, about you narrating your own audiobook. Make that list and say it, not just to say it, but you say it until you feel it. Because when you feel it, that's when you are changing your belief system. That's when you are providing good, positive fuel for your subconscious. We're getting rid of the bad fuel and we're putting the good fuel in, okay? So those are the 4 steps. That's my catchphrase. Face it, embrace it, purge it, replace it. That's how you deal with fears. That's how you crush those fears, okay? Facing your fear is acknowledging it, embracing it is stripping down away the layers, getting down to the root cause. Why? Now that you've gotten to that point, you are purging it aside to replace it now with positive affirmations and creating new beliefs about yourself as an author and as a narrator so that you can narrate your own audiobook. And you can do it, all right? You definitely can do it. All right. So remember that catchphrase. Now, I do want to share with you briefly about the audiobook coaching program that I do teach, which is called Your Book, Your Voice. And this is where I do help you as a nonfiction author turn your book into an audiobook that you narrate. And it only takes you 6 weeks. My program is 6 weeks. That's it. I coach you through the entire process. The setup and preparation phase is the first phase where I send you the equipment, the professional equipment that you need to narrate your own audiobook. help you set it up, help you set up your account in ACX for publication on Audible, Amazon, and Apple, because you need to be on those distribution platforms. Getting you all prepped and ready to go. The second phase, of course, is how to do a great narration, where I help you with tools and techniques of doing a great audiobook narration. The next phase is that I do all the editing for you, because after your audiobook is recorded, you have to have it edited and make sure it's clean, that it sounds great, but most importantly, that it meets the exact specifications for publication. And that's crucial, because I've come across so many authors who've tried to do it on their own, and they try to publish their book on Audible, Amazon, and Apple, and it gets rejected because their specs did not meet what is required. So it's very important. Then we also talk about marketing and things that you can do to promote your audiobook. And believe me, this is a world that you definitely want to be in, okay? I'm going to put a little ticker there at the bottom of the website if you want more information about what I do as an audiobook coach and producer. Just go to robertlanecoaching.com. And also, there's only one simple step that you need to do, and that's this. Oh, well, okay, there's your narration reference guide, by the way. I do offer a free audiobook narration reference guide with some tools and techniques for you to do a great audiobook narration. The web address is bit.ly/narration reference guide. You can grab that on the website as well. But this is what I wanted to show you, is booking a call. I would love to speak with you and find out more about your book, what your goals are, what your marketing strategies are, and I'll give you more details on how to enroll in the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program. I always talk to every client, every potential author who wants to get into the program. We always talk before I enroll anybody, because it's very important to be establishing a business relationship. You're working with me, I'm working with you, and we got to make sure we resonate with each other, okay? So schedule that call, all right? bit.ly/audiobook onboarding is the link. Again, you can go to robertlanecoaching.com, because all the links are there as well. So would love to work with you and help you turn your book into an audiobook that you, as the author, narrate, because no one can tell your story better than you can. No one. You are the most qualified out of anybody to narrate your own audiobook as a nonfiction author. Hands down, okay? All right, my friends, that's going to wrap it up for Coffee Chat today. I hope the information, take it with you. Take that catchphrase when it comes to dealing with fears. Face it, embrace it, purge it, replace it, okay? Get rid of those fears. Create new positive affirmations and new belief systems for your subconscious. This is good, positive fuel for your subconscious, all right? That's what you want. That is what you want, and you will crush your fears. And there's no reason why you cannot narrate your own audiobook, because you can. You can. All right, my friends, one more toast to you, because you're just awesome. Love Coffee Chat. Love it. Oh, yeah. Don't forget, join me tonight for the Your Book, Your Voice podcast on the Bold Brave TV YouTube channel. That's where it streams live. I want you to join me live, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Again, the topic there is audiobook PR. Know your strategy. That's what we're going to talk about. All right. And my final assignment to you, my friends, is this. When you're out and about in the world, say hello to a stranger. Smile at them. Give them a compliment. It takes 5 or 10 seconds out of your day. But that small gesture of kindness can make the world of difference in somebody's life. And the bottom line is this. You want to be good humans. Be a good human. All right. All right. It's going to wrap it up for Coffee Chat, my friends. I'm Robert A. Lane, robertlanecoaching.com. As you can see, the scroll at the bottom of the page there is where you can go get more information about the audiobook coaching program. All right. And book your call. We'd love to speak with you and get your audiobook done in 6 weeks. All right. All right, my friends. We'll talk to you next week. If there's a topic you want me to cover on Coffee Chat, let me know, because it is open forum for authors. All right. Have a great day, my friends. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.